Hello, welcome to the Bonsai Wire podcast. I'm Jonas Dupuy, joined today with Michael Hagedorn and Bill Valavanis. And today we're going to talk with Bill about, well, whatever comes up. He was just telling us about the tokonoma display he has set up in his studio.
I have it for autumn, and I've got a beautiful hawthorn full of kind of reddish-orange fruit. The scroll facing the tokonoma is of a bluebird and persimmons. And for the accessory, I have a grass, dwarf Yakushima grass, and it's sitting on a jita of bamboo. But there's two things wrong with that image. One, there's fruit on the token in the hawthorn, and there's fruit in the scroll.
Yeah.
So I can easily take the scroll off, and I have one with Japanese maples pointing.
Right. Or you can take the fruit off the tree. Yeah.
Yeah, that would work. And the second thing is the grass. It's the right size and height, texture. However, it's sitting on a jita of bamboo. That's summer.
That's summer.
So
That's right.
So I have a wood one to go there.
Yeah. Good.
I was also going to ask about the bluebird. Is it a young bluebird with its orange plumage or an older bluebird with the blue? That would be another seasonal faux pas.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, years ago when Suzuki came to the exhibition, my symposium, he criticized me in my tokonoma display. I had an American larch and a water stone next to it. He said, "This is bad." He says, "Larch don't grow near water." Wrong environment.
Oh.
I collected it on the beach.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
So he wasn't exactly on track with that one.
Well, in Japan, they don't grow near water.
Right. Yeah.
They're in mountains.
It's interesting you would even know that, though, because they hardly ever use larch. I mean, I think I saw, one or two in my whole
Yeah, there's not
time
many.
there. No, there really aren't. My gosh.
Well, you will love it. The best comment I ever heard from a display from a Japanese person visiting an American display is Akio Kondo was at a local Bay Area show, and someone was looking at, I think there was a shrimp on the scroll, and he kept looking up at the shrimp and down at the tree and up at the shrimp and down at the tree, and his sole comment was flying shrimp. And then he just moved along. That was all he said. He said, "Okay, flying shrimp, next display. What else you guys got?"
I got called up by a Japanese. I had a scroll, and the painting was a maple and a fish. And he said, "That fish isn't native to where the main tree is."
Love it.
Depends on the depth of your perception and understanding.
Yeah, that's right.
How have you found it goes to teach display versus other parts of bonsai? Because it's just such a different thing in so many ways.
It's different. I enjoy doing it. In my garage, I got 4 tokonoma areas set up. And for Saturday, I'll have winter, spring, summer, and autumn. All different. And the first one is the winter. I have a pine, of course. But with the pine, you don't know what season it is. So you can indicate seasonality by the scroll, if you use the scroll, or the accessory. So I have a scroll of snowfall. It could be spring in Rochester, too.
Yeah,
So,
right. Right. It's a little...
So that's what I'm going to do on Saturday.
Oh, cool.
And I have a big,
go ahead.
I have a big open house on Saturday. And one of my programs is how to display bonsai with Kusamono. So I'm going to set it up for this Saturday and refine it for next Saturday. Tweak it.
So you're going to build in mistakes, or are you going to hope that people
quizzes?
Yeah.
Right. Maybe. It's easy.
Yeah.
I have everything here.
Yeah. So Bill, you must have first encountered display, I'm guessing here, when you studied with Murata.
Yes.
Was that your first exposure? Because he was really deeply in display, wasn't he?
Yeah. The displays I saw of his wouldn't be considered acceptable today.
In what way?
I got a picture of a cryptomeria, and the scroll is cryptomeria, both formal upright, and next to it is a huge stone.
Oh, you're kidding.
Now, you have to realize there's many different reasons for displaying. To share the beauty of your tree, for a celebration, for season, for a
Mhm.
guest. This might have been the owner of the scroll or the tree. So there's many different reasons. I don't know why he displayed it that way.
Wow.
But his other displays are beautiful.
Mm. And didn't he build a tea house, a Tokonoma
Yes.
area? It took him like 5 years to complete it. He was very particular
Yes, he
about
has the first
construction.
house to display bonsai in Japan. The only
The
one.
first house?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
For display. He had several Tokonoma. And usually it was closed off. Sometimes it was open. Now, when Murata passed away, his son took over. But the whole garden was reduced tremendously. So they took that building apart, and Sudo purchased it and rebuilt it. And when it was the Takagi Museum up in where he lived, Tochigi.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that. Oh,
so it's still there. And I've saw it several times visiting him. It's all restored. It's beautiful.
Yeah. So what year were you there? Late 60s?
First time I went to Japan, 1970.
70.
First time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I stopped counting about 10 years ago when I hit 50 trips.
Yeah.
One year I went 5 times.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
I can't go now. No,
Right.
US is prohibited.
Right.
So there's no Taikon 10. There's no Sakufu 10. They just announced the date for Kokufu 10 with the condition that if they have to close because of the museum, they will. But if they don't hold Kokufu 10, it's going to be bad business for the Japanese bonsai community.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that would be rough.
Yeah, one of the biggest income. But of course, I don't think the Chinese can come.
Well, that's what happened last year at Kokufu. They were not enjoying Kokufu as much last year, or this year, I should say, as they were previous years. It was kind of, I remember the opening day of Kokufu was kind of a ghost town, and the professionals were concerned. It got better after a few days, but it was rough because there were fewer international visitors.
Right. I only had a tour of, I think, 6 or 7 people. They liked my tours in Japan during Kokufu 10. One year, my participants spent over 50 grand just in the Green Club.
Oh, wow.
Purchasing new things.
Oh my gosh. For how long have you been doing the tours? When did you start? I mean,
the tours.
Yeah.
Probably 76.
Oh, but very early. Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I had no idea.
With Cora, I think it's been 15 years.
Yeah.
With Cora, usually we have 2 a year. Kokufu 10 and Taikon 10.
Yeah. Oh my word.
I imagine you have collected a few stories over the years during these tours of wacky hijinks breaking out.
Yeah.
Right. But give us a story or two of when something really went wrong. This was Jonas gets the credit for this question. We were talking earlier about it.
I got the wrong date for visiting Omiya. We didn't have a bus. So Moimai very quickly hired a van and picked us up. Now another year, I made reservations everywhere. So we're at Kobayashi's, and I always have the master call ahead. So he called Kimura. I'm not going to be here today. We already had a reservation. So we went a day early to visit Kimura. Cost $300 to change a bus. Now, the day we wanted to visit Kimura, they had the largest snowfall in 40 years. You were there, Michael. Remember?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. I think I got trapped in Nagano.
Yeah. So we got up there
for a few days.
Yeah. And if we would have gone the day we were supposed to, it would have been snowed out.
I was trying to leave, and the train station was just packed full of people. All you could see were heads. There was no room to even move. Everybody was trying to get on trains. Trains were scarce.
Oh, I sat on the train for an hour.
Everything.
With Mark
crazy.
Arpeg.
Yeah.
Shinkansen.
Oh yeah, Mark. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they had snowblowers in Nagano. In
yes. Yeah.
Ueno, they were using dustpans to move the snow.
Oh gosh.
Holy cow.
And
We
that
weren't
was
ready for
a
that.
few years ago.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
other storm, I was also in Japan 40 years ago when they had a big snowstorm.
Mm.
Kokufuten time.
Well, did you catch the Kokufu storm just a few years ago when it snowed 3 feet in one day in
Right.
Tokyo?
I went to every Kokufuten for
Well, so if
20,
you
30 years.
and so if you were at, I just wondered if you were there on that day. You must have been in town because I remember I was in Sendai that day trying to catch a train, and I learned what fun trains are when there's a lot of snow. But it snowed about 3 feet, and apparently they were just loving it in the Green Club that day because for some reason there
Inside.
weren't a lot of shoppers looking at the trees underneath 3 feet of snow.
No, they were inside. They weren't outside. The outside vendors didn't like it.
No, they were not too happy.
Yeah.
But it all melted
gosh.
that day, so it came back the very next day. That was just 2 or 3 years ago, not
Sure.
too long ago.
Sure.
So Bill, I want to ask you for a repeat of a story that I heard years ago, and that's of the kidnapping. This was with Chase, right?
Okay. I was with Chase Rosade and Lynn Porter. We went to visit Chase's teacher, Mr. Yoshida.
Oh, yeah.
And we got there. All we have is our camera bags. He took us. He kidnapped us for 3 days. We had no idea where we were going. So we called Chase's mother-in-law, who spoke English. She said, "Oh, he wants to show you something. It'll be okay." He took us to Shikoku Island. He took us to meet Mr. Ueda, one biggest private collector. We had a great time. He had no idea where we were going.
I didn't realize it was 3 days.
Yeah,
Oh my
3
gosh.
days. He put us up in hotels.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
and usually we always have an unexpected surprise on my tour. One year we're going to Morimai. Sean was there ahead of time. He calls me and says, "Bill, get over here quick." So we got there quick. We got off the bus. Morimai says, "Get back on the bus. We're going to see the mayor of Hanyu." So we get to the mayor's office, and all the city employees are standing outside bowing as we walk in.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Wow.
And there's always an exhibit. One year we're going to a temple, and we had a tour guide there, we don't now, was walking, explaining, and I said, "Oh, look at the chrysanthemum bonsai over there on the right." Everybody went to the right. The tour guide was by herself. That's when I had a tour guide. Once we fired our tour guide. His name was Yuji too, because I spoke more Japanese than he spoke English.
Oh.
Yeah. So we don't use tour guides, just for gardens now.
I remember getting to come along with one of the bonuses on one of your trips when during the Taikon 10, we swooped away to the, I think it's the Genko Kai show. The show that's held in a temple not too far away, concurrent with Taikon 10.
Genkoku Kai.
That was a fantastic exhibit.
Yeah, it's a private exhibit of Morimai's customers or study group. Going back 1970, 71 or 72, 71, I was free. So I go and I watch this guy all day, So I kept going back to Mansayan, Mr. Saburo Kato. May I watch you today? Yes. May I watch you today? Yes. May I watch you? No. I said, "Okay, thank you very much." And I turned around as I was leaving, Hatsuji Kato was there. And Hatsuji said, "Bill, where are you going?" I said, "Your father said I can't watch you more." "Oh, you watch too hard." But we were still friends. I mean,
Right.
I edited his book and everything. So
The Forest book.
yes,
Oh, wonderful! That is a classic and one of my favorite bonsai books.
Right.
I love that book.
right.
Love it. You weren't by any chance involved in the 4 seasons of bonsai, were you?
No.
Okay.
The-
Another one of my favorites.
Did you see Fine Bonsai, the big book, the coffee
Yes.
table book?
Yeah.
The photographer just died last year, just found out. Dr.
Ah.
Jonathan Singer. No,
Oh.
but that was interesting. He was quite a character. We walk into Kimura's garden, and Kimura said, "This tree is good to photograph. This tree is good to photograph." Johnson didn't want those trees. He picked other trees. I said, Kimura said, "That tree is good. Now I want to photograph this one." So he was quite a character. He had an $80,000 100 megapixel camera. So you got the best trees in the world, $200,000-$300,000 tree. He walks over, he takes one shot. If I can't get it in one shot, it's not worth it. That was his philosophy.
Good gracious. No bracketing, nothing, huh?
No.
Just go for it.
Thank God for Photoshop.
Yeah, right. Oh,
but he didn't know that the publisher adjusted all the photographs.
Oh gosh.
Oh no.
I can tell you now it's because he's not with us.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Wow. Wow. So how many publications have you made? You have so many achievements, and publishing is just one of the things I want to talk about with you. But
the first book was
you've done several.
Bonsai Design Creation. Bonsai Design Creation, first one, 75. Okay. 76 was the Pine book.
Oh, okay. Okay. I didn't know you had one.
Ed Sims published it. We couldn't sell it for $10. You know how much it is now?
Oh, yeah, it's valuable. I remember.
$6.50.
Oh, I'll keep mine. Okay,
yeah.
Good. Yeah, if I need to sell it. Wow.
And then I worked on, we have 6 US National Exhibition books.
Yeah.
My big book for 50 years. It came out at $50. I saw it on Amazon, $1,025.
Whoa.
What?
Yeah. Keep that one too. And then I helped with Fine Bonsai. I did all the text. The text is the best thing in the book, better than the photograph. There's a lot of research for the information on those masterpiece trees. You won't find anywhere. I compiled it from several different sources. Had some translated. And then what else? I was the editor for Saburo Kato's book on forests. When I had my 30th anniversary in bonsai, I had a black and white paperback album. When I had 40 years, I had a color paperback album. And now 50 years, I had the big one. 60 years is coming up. I don't know if I'm going to make it, but that's in 2 years.
What are you going to do?
I don't know. This is my 58th year in bonsai.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, not many people can say that in Japan.
No. Holy cow. Wow. All right. Gosh. So, and then including the magazine then in your publications, tell us a little bit about that. You've
the magazine
had that for many years. Many
magazine, International Bonsai.
Yeah.
I started with Yoshimura 42 years ago.
Oh yeah.
And right now I'm finishing up issue 163. It's the first and only English language professional bonsai magazine. There aren't any others. Those are all the society publications. This is the only professional one. And then a couple years ago, the US National Arboretum honored me by inducting me into the US Hall of Fame, Bonsai Hall of Fame. Now I think 1987. I'm only the third one. The first two are dead. Yuji and John Naka. I thought you had to be dead to be inducted, but I guess not. I'm still here.
Belated congratulations.
You didn't get the memo. Great. Let's keep that memo out of touch. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
And then 2 years ago, I was the first Westerner to judge a Japanese bonsai exhibition.
That was cool when I saw that.
Yeah. Oh.
I helped judge Taikon 10.
Yeah.
And then last year, they said, you're a permanent judge. So last year, I judged again. And Harold Lanner from Germany also helped with the judging. I mean, some of the judges didn't even know too much about bonsai. They were artists and famous people.
Yeah, it's interesting. They have those 2 different rounds of judging kind of at Taikon 10, and that final slate of judges is not all bonsai people.
Correct. Then last year also, the Omiya Bonsai Art Museum honored Yoshimura. It took them 70 years to give him credit for what he did for introducing bonsai. Yeah. So they had a big exhibit. Almost 90% of it's my stuff, and it's still there. They can't get it to me because you can't ship packages to the US. So I sent a lot of stuff there, and they invited me to give a lecture on Yoshimura. And his 2 daughters, his granddaughter, and one of his brothers was there. And I showed a slide of Yoshimura family. Yuji was about 8 or 9 years old. And there was a little baby. And his brother said, his brother's 80 years old, says, "That's me. That's my picture."
Mm.
So it was interesting.
Mm. So Yuji was one of your inspirations, right?
Yeah, he
one
was
of
my
your,
main
yeah.
teachers.
Mm-hmm.
About 30 years with him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he lived a bit south. Where was he? Pennsylvania?
No, outside of
No.
New York City.
Oh, New York
West,
City. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Westchester County. He originally came in '59 for the Brooklyn Botanic Gardens
Oh,
as a
that's right.
fellowship.
Yes.
I even have his ticket on a boat. And
Oh my
he said, "I
gosh.
met this interesting lady." I've got all the notes. I've got all his library. And then he enjoyed it. He went back to Japan and he moved here. Once he got established here, he sent for his wife and 2 daughters.
Gosh.
And then he started a nursery.
Yeah. How long was the fellowship? Was it like a year or something, or
I think 6 months.
6 months? Okay.
Yeah.
My
And the
gosh.
reason they got it is because John Creech, former director of the National,
Oh, yeah.
went to his
Yep.
nursery and saw that he spoke English and saw what he was doing. He was the first person to offer bonsai classes for the public. 1952.
In Japan?
Yeah.
Oh, the first person?
Yep.
Yuji Yoshimura. Oh,
They weren't offered
gosh.
to the public,
Really?
only apprentices.
Interesting. My gosh.
Yeah.
So Creech saw that.
Yeah.
And did he vouch for him for the
Yes.
Brooklyn?
He recommended him
Interesting. I didn't know that history. My gosh.
Dr. Avery was a director for many, many years.
Oh, yes.
So
Right.
and then there are some of Yuji's trees there. Some of his trees are at the Longwood Gardens too.
Mm-hmm. Did the collection grow while Yuji was there? Was that part of his?
Well, he was only about 6
work
months.
there? Yeah.
He trained Frank Okamura. Frank Okamura was a
Oh,
Japanese
yeah.
gardener there. So Yuji trained him, and all of a
Yeah.
sudden, Frank Okamura is a big bonsai master.
Oh,
And
my gosh. Yeah.
he really expanded the bonsai area.
Mhm.
Frank Okamura. He
Mhm.
did a good job.
Yeah, I have a newspaper clipping, an obituary of Okamura. Yeah,
Yeah.
remember him. Yeah,
He was primarily a
it's long
gardener.
ago. Right, right. Yeah. Wow. So other than Yuji, do you have has there been anyone else who's really inspired you in your work?
Yuji first, and then when I went to Japan, I went to study with Murata, Kyuzo Murata. He introduced me to the Japanese bonsai community. He took me around, gave me letters to go around. And then I went back to school, graduated, and then I went back to Japan and I did a formal apprenticeship with Kakutaro Komuro. And he also studied with Hamano. And Hamano was Shinji Suzuki's teacher and Mr. Kimura's teacher. In fact, my garden was just down the block from Hamano's and across the street from Takayama's.
Gosh, that's not there anymore, is it?
No.
Yeah.
I think his wife, he divorced, and there is a shoton, but it's just a little shop. There's not much there. It's in a different place, part of Omiya. But the other main inspiration is Takayama and his father.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
Forest
Yeah,
and
your
deciduous trees.
Sure, your great love of deciduous. Yeah, sure.
And one of the nicer gardens in Japan.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Very colorful.
So, were you able to visit there and watch as you did at Kato's?
Yes.
Oh, wonderful.
But
oh my gosh, what an education you had.
Primarily, it was his father, Fusazo Takayama.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hiroshi is still a youngster.
Right. And were they welcoming to you?
They let me watch.
Okay.
I couldn't ask many questions, but I watched a lot.
Did you have kind of a soft spot for deciduous back then, or were you still just learning everything?
I was learning
without
everything.
Direction? Yeah. Okay.
And around here, northeast, we don't have many collected trees unless you go further north to collect larch.
Right.
So I use mostly deciduous trees because that's what's around here.
Right.
And most of my trees are creative and cultivated bonsai, not collected trees.
Pot-grown trees.
Yeah. Collected trees, you have to make a lot of design compromises because of what you started with. But
That's
when
an
you start
interesting
trees
point.
from cuttings or seedlings or air layers, there's really no reason not to have a perfect tree. It takes longer.
It's
It
hard.
takes longer, but I'm glad I did it when I was younger.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right. I think actually a lot of people don't realize how really hard it is to create a really good tree from nothing.
Right.
I think that's sidelined.
And you can't
Yeah,
hide anything with deciduous trees.
right.
Ooh.
Everything's exposed.
That's right.
It's not like a juniper or a pine.
naked.
You can move a branch over here, and you can't do it to deciduous trees. Well, if you want to show them in the winter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you? So it's true you can't collect many conifers in your area. Did you ever collect any of the cow or deer browsed apples, pears, hawthorns? Did you
No.
Did you get into any of that?
No,
You didn't do any of that. Okay.
No, I went to Canada. I collected larch.
Larch. Okay.
Yeah, way up north along the stream. I still have several of them.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I know when I visited your garden, that was what impressed me more than anything is you see the trees in pictures, but then when you get to the garden in person, you think, wow, you made these trees over many, many decades. And you can just see again, decades worth of decisions that went into creating these things. And it's really, really impressive.
And the history of 100 trees is in my 50th anniversary book.
Which is a fantastic book.
I've got a picture of a Shishigashira maple, like a 2-year graft, pencil size. I throw it away now. I wouldn't bother with it. But I kept it. I didn't know any better. And now it's a pretty good tree.
Okay. This is a good segue for a question I had, which is that what would you wish you had done years ago, knowing what you know now?
Started more trees, and don't force. You can only go so far for a tree. You push it too much, you're going to kill it.
Yeah.
But I also learned, like for drastic pruning, some people do it a little this year, a little next year, and go to the third time and it dies. I've learned that with the drastic pruning, especially with the maple, cut the whole thing off at once. Don't play around. If it's going to die, let it die now, not after 5 or 10 years I've wasted.
I remember watching you give a presentation once, and one line really struck me, which was to shock it once.
Yes.
And I really I took that to heart. That was years ago. Boy, that was back when I was probably studying ceramics and downstate, and I would come up to Rochester to your meetings, and I think I heard you speak.
You used to come to my garden to look at the pots.
That's right. That's right. You remember that?
Yeah.
That's right. You were one of the first people to buy my pots.
Yeah. I still have several.
I'm sorry.
I'm not.
No, you were a great support to me back then. That was an unknown land I was entering.
Yeah.
But I grew up down in Ithaca, so we weren't all that far away. Although I was just sort of piddling around with bonsai on my own for many years when I was a teenager. And
you grew up in Ithaca?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We moved there when I was about 10. It was 1977. I remember that clearly because that was the year that Star Wars came out. I remember walking out of this theater and it felt like the whole world had changed. So many things that were changing. And 5 years later, I would discover bonsai, but I hadn't quite discovered you yet in your garden up there. That took me a little bit longer.
I was teaching it. 77?
Yeah. Were you at Cornell?
I was teaching at the plantations.
Oh, at the plantations, the Cornell plantations. Oh my gosh.
I was teaching class there all day for advanced and then beginners for several years.
Oh my gosh. And you got a horticultural degree out of ornamental horticulture from the ag school there, the Cornell.
Cornell?
Yeah.
And also one from State University of New York, agricultural technical farming. So I got 2 horticultural degrees.
Oh, no, I didn't know that.
So I got the background.
Yeah, right.
And
Did you always have an interest in art as well? So did horticulture come first, or were you curious about art?
Horticulture came first.
Okay, yeah.
Now my mother was a award-winning rose and tuberous begonia grower. Huh. I remember, Michael, years ago, living in Illinois, early 60s, we had a bad winter and it killed all my mother's roses. So my father went out and bought all new roses, rose garden, cost him $75. I said, how can you spend $75 for plants? Who would spend $75 for plants? Now, 50 years later, look at me.
It always seemed to me that you had an innate sense for business, and that you hit the ground running when you were young. Am I right about that? Did
Yeah.
do you feel like you had an innate sense for how to do that?
Yeah, because I needed money to do more bonsai. Then I needed money to live.
Yeah.
Then I needed money for raise 2 kids.
Yeah. Right.
I was always impressed about the stories of your very early days when you were literally getting driven around to visit all the garden clubs up and down the Eastern Seaboard to teach people about bonsai.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll come lecture, but you got to pick me up. I didn't have a car. I was 16, 17. I didn't have a car. Didn't have a license.
Okay. 16, 17, you started teaching?
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah, he was getting rides.
I started my business.
Unbelievable.
In, I think 66.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
The House of Bonsai.
Oh yeah.
In Illinois. And then we moved to West Virginia and expanded the business. When I went to Japan, when Yuji introduced me to Japan, about 1978. Yeah, 1978. I was at school in Long Island. And I'd go up to him and study on weekends. Then I became the editor of the New York Bonsai magazine, the Bonsai Bulletin. It's one of the oldest English language magazine at that time. So I did that for a year. And it was an awful lot of work. And I went to Japan, came back, and I said, okay, I'm starting over. So I started my magazine. And that's how that started. You know how the National Exhibition started?
Do
tell us the story.
Okay. There's a lot of beautiful bonsai in Europe. Years ago, they were mostly imported trees. The Europeans weren't making trees, but now they are. And there are several comments about the Americans, we have no good trees. Well, we do have good trees. So I said, okay, let's have a show to show good trees. So I tried to organize a national exhibition, and I was warned, you'll never succeed. America's too big of a country. The only reason the Europeans can do it is because like the size of California, very small, they can transport trees. So I was warned not to do it. And then I was warned from the Canadians, Bill, you should have looked higher. In other words, I should have included Canada with it. But then I couldn't call it the US National Exhibition. So I tried it and it worked. And now 8-10 years later, we're still doing it. But the National Exhibition, I did it. I want to show trees. It's not about the artist. I want to highlight trees. If the trees in America, I'd like to show it. If you go to Japan and buy Kimura's famous dancing dragon and get it over here, I'll let you exhibit it. It's about the trees, not about the people. And that's what the main purpose. But now it's evolved that the US National Bonsai Exhibition is good for the bonsai business. People have to get good trees, so they'll go collect trees. Then you have to take them to someone like you to help fix them. Okay, now they need a pot. So they got to contact Ron Lang to have a custom pot made. Then you got to use wire. So they'll contact Jim Gremmel or Julian Adams to buy wire. Okay, now you need a table. So they got to contact Sean or David Niddle to buy a table. All right, you got this tree. Time to get it ready. So you take it to Bjorn, and he'll fix it up, and he'll bring it, set it up, and take it back. So all these things are good for the commercial bonsai industry here in America.
Yeah.
Which just evolved.
We felt the effects.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was going to say and what are the effects then on the visitors to the show or the people who end up seeing the pictures?
Oh, they like the trees. They want to have a tree in there. Everybody wants to have a tree in the National Exhibition. So they try to make good trees better and better. And a lot of them are. Very few trees have been repeated in the National Exhibition. The last exhibition, we had like 120 species and varieties. Wow. 120.
That's ridiculous. That's twice as many as Japan. Yeah.
Oh, they don't.
Or more.
More.
3 times. Yeah, that's amazing.
And you've had a broad diversity in each exhibit. And I know you keep track of how many total species you've shown. And that's always
Yes.
been a great criteria in that there's a strong, encouraging undercurrent to get as many different species as possible in there.
Also, I'm trying to encourage more rock plantings
Oh, yeah.
and cascades. Because if you have all the trees the same level, it's kind of monotonous. You got to have a rock planting, a cascade. So when we select trees, we give extra points to the cascades, unusual varieties, and different species.
Do you have things in mind that you haven't tried yet for the National? Anything you want to bring into it, or hopes for its development?
Yes, this year, well, we had planned. The exhibition has not been canceled. It's just been postponed a year.
Right.
And we're having a Kusamono exhibit. Young Choi is going to include that. It's going to be near the Suiseki.
Excellent. Oh, that's
to
great.
get that art form in. In the beginning, we used to have Ikebana demonstrations. And we still have Suiseki demonstrations or programs and container demonstrations. Now we're going to go to Kusamono to expand it so more people can enjoy it and see. There's more to bonsai than a tree in a pot. And the great American bonsai community just wants to make trees. Most of them don't care if the pot is Chinese or Japanese or American or European. They just want the pot. And we're trying to raise the level of bonsai, raise the appreciation for bonsai. That's what I'm trying to do.
Do you think it's because we're just not there yet?
Yeah, but we're getting there.
Yep.
We're getting there. I mean, even for display, they'll take a tree, just bring it to the show. Well, I don't have a table. Well, so we're trying to, we got criticized at the Sean Smith and Arthur and Jim Doyle and a couple others had the stone exhibition, stone appreciation show every 2 years in Harrisburg. Well, we invited Matsuura one year. He came in and he criticized us because our tables weren't all antique. Hey, we're lucky to have tables. Forget about the antique.
Yeah.
The Japanese don't realize we're starting from scratch.
Yeah, there's a bit of momentum to build.
Yeah.
For sure. You've been such a big part of that. And just out of curiosity, do you have, out of all these achievements that we've been talking about over this really long, productive career, do you have something that is really close to you, that you like the most of the things that you've done?
The national exhibition and the magazine.
Those are the things you're most proud of.
Yeah. Well, I got nice
Great.
trees too. Nice trees. But you got to realize it's a living thing. It's going to die sometime. And my job is to act like a curator, to keep it alive and healthy in the same general shape for as long as possible. But pests and disease come. Certain trees are short-lived. All of a sudden, branches die in Shimpaku, even in Japan. Whole sections of them die. And you got to redesign. So you have to go with the flow.
Yeah.
So I'm most proud of the magazine and the US National Exhibition.
And are those the things that you hear the most about from the public, from the community? Are they the ones that you feel are the most appreciated as well?
Yes, but I can reach more people with the magazine. And now my blog is becoming quite popular.
Nice.
Especially when I go traveling. It's not as popular as yours, Jonas.
Oh, I don't know about
Jonas
that.
has got a great one.
Yeah, yours is more educational. And I just put things up which interest me.
And I point people to it all the time, especially around showtimes in Japan, because you tend to have the best and definitely the most timely reports of whatever's being shown in the big events in Japan.
Well, in the past, they would allow me to photograph Kokufu 10. And sometimes I created it early, sometimes at the end. And that's at the time you couldn't take any photographs. And once when a woman complained, I had permission, but a woman complained to Nakamura. She didn't like hearing the click of my camera.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it was not that many years ago when to take pictures, I would need to get the armband, the photo, and even then, every single security guard would stop me, and a number of customers would stop me. So yeah, same thing.
And you turn, you face them, then you see that. Oh, okay.
Yep, you show them the badge, you speak to them in Japanese, and then it eases them a little bit.
Last year at TaiCon 10, I gave, I think, one or two tours in English of the exhibition. There are a lot of foreigners there. So they advertised it, not too much, but they advertised some. And they had maybe 40, 50 people follow me. And I just talked about the trees, gave a little critique, explained the exhibits, which people didn't know, certain highlights about a table or past owner or the species or why it's displayed this way. And it was pretty interesting.
That's
I was
cool.
looking forward to it again, but not this year.
That's, I know, one of the parts that's the hardest to transmit are the specific histories of the trees or the displays or the people putting these things together, because
Right.
anyone can learn the skills, anyone can go and identify and speak intelligently about the trees, but there's that whole cultural aspect of it, which is just much harder to pass on without that direct experience.
A lot of people, most people aren't interested in that,
That's right.
but I am, so that's what I'm trying to teach, like display. I'm not bored with bonsai, but I want to share trees. And the way you share them is you take it out of your garden, clean it up, put it in an area with a plain background, and to show it. It doesn't have to be Japanese, doesn't have to have a scroll, just a plain background. But then if you want to tell a story and indicate seasonality, then you got to add some other elements. Like a pine tree, no seasonality. So if I want to show winter, I'll put a black viewing stone there, or some dried out grasses, or ferns. Now I'm trying to figure out what to use for spring for my Zoom on Saturday. I have an idea.
Did you say spring? Are you
spring?
Oh,
I'm gonna have a spring, summer,
off-season.
autumn, and winter.
Oh, okay.
I have a maple, and it was beautiful where I had it in the shade. And I moved to the sun, the leaves got burned.
Oh.
So I was going to cut all the leaves off the maple and have a winter. But I can teach more using a pine tree because you have to indicate seasonality with the accessory.
That's a good point. Yeah. If you were to choose just one tree. Yeah. Right.
So that's what I'm working on.
Right.
I'm about half done. And then in my studio, on the big long bench where we work, have classes, I got about 10 trees and a stone display. And then in the garage are 4 areas. I have an outdoor tokonoma. My friend just built me a beautiful table. It's, in fact, it can go in an exhibit. It's that good. But it's made out of cedar, and it's stained, weatherproofed. And I'll have another exhibit out there. And then we're going to do a Zoom garden walk. So I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, that's great.
It's the first time I'm giving a Zoom presentation
great.
from my computer showing one of my programs.
That'll be cool.
Yeah. We'll see if it works.
Yeah, it's great technology.
Yeah.
Yeah. Super.
When I started, there was no technology. You had to do it with books and magazines.
Right.
Now there's blogs and there's online courses. The whole world is changing.
Well, yeah, and on that topic, you talked about between your tours, the running the nursery, doing the show, doing the books, doing the magazine. You'd mentioned or called out the national exhibit in the magazine. I'm curious, where would you like to see more investment in general in US bonsai going forward? Where would you want to see all of us putting more energy?
Yeah.
Creating beautiful bonsai, improving the design. And that only comes, and with refinement, that comes with age. I mean, a new generation of people have come from Japan. Americans have gone to Japan, they come back, and they're starting from nothing. So the best way to make a name for yourself and to make money is to get a big old collected tree, heavy trunk tree, because you can manipulate that and create something in a few years, and you have something to look at. But it looks to me like America is becoming overrun with old collected junipers, Rocky Mountain junipers. And that's because that's what the younger generation can do easy. It takes time. Yeah, it takes time to generate deciduous trees.
We're fast becoming a country with many holes in the ground out there.
Yeah. But I guess there's plenty to select from.
Yes.
And they're doing a good job with them. But it becomes monotonous to walk into a bonsai garden and see all heavy trunk dead wood trees. But
that's a cool thing about having the show where it is for the national exhibit, is because you're surrounded by so much deciduous material, and that's such a focus back there. It's a great way to inject or force so much of that deciduous material into the national conversation.
Well, I try to have a balance. I want some big old heavy trunk trees for diversity, and also to bring in California artists and Pacific Northwest artists like you and Ryan. We need trees like that.
Okay, I think we're going to take a quick break here and hear from one of our sponsors. Be right back. Do you ever return home from a long trip to the store to find your bonsai wilted beyond repair? Do your trees not look as green as they should? Have your accent plants never looked as nice as the ones you see on Instagram? Maybe it's time to try dihydrogen monoxide. Dihydrogen monoxide is proven to increase the uptake of nutrients, help reduce stress, keep your plants hydrated longer, and much more. You might not know that professionals around the world use dihydrogen monoxide multiple times a day to keep their trees looking best. It is largely an unknown secret that we at Bonsai Wire are bringing into the light. We're excited to announce an exclusive partnership with the makers of dihydrogen monoxide. Every bottle sold off of our website comes with a money-back guarantee. If your trees do not look better, stronger, and happier within hours of using our product, we'll send your money back, no questions asked. Don't delay. Go to bonsaiwire.com/products and enter the code WIRE to receive a free bottle for a friend with every purchase while supplies last. Again, that's bonsaiwire.com/products. Enter the code WIRE. Thank you for your support. Okay, I think we're back. Let's jump right into the show.
And you mentioned wanting to see more good, beautiful trees. Have you worked with growers much over the years? That seems to be one place where we've got a lot of work to do.
No, not really. I mean, I've got 5 acres here, and I had a whole bunch of trees in the ground, but just can't handle it. I think I've got 3 full-time jobs: teaching, publishing the magazine, and operating my nursery, my garden.
Yeah.
And it's a struggle to juggle all 3.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you ever had an apprentice, Bill?
Yes. Formal apprentice, Corin Tomlinson.
Corin, I remember Corin. Wow. That was quite a while ago. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He was
16,
16 years old when he came.
Oh, right. Yeah. How long was he with you?
About 2 years.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And then he came, then he went to go visit Chase for a week, and I think Jim Doyle. And then he went to Brussels. So he goes from England to Atlanta, then from Atlanta to Memphis. Well, he only had a one-way ticket. So immigrant, what are you doing here? Well, I'll get a ticket. Where are you going to go? Brussels Bonsai Nursery. So they called Brussels. Do you know this guy, Mr. Tomlinson? Oh, yeah, he's come to work for me for a week. Well, they took him by gun back to England, deported him.
What?
Oh,
yeah. Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I still needed him. He wasn't done yet. So Nicholas was just born. In fact, Nicholas was born when Corin was here. So we drove up to Toronto. We flew him to Toronto, and we picked him up. And I had Nicholas sleeping in the back seat and Corin sleeping in the back seat. So we get to the border, Niagara Falls. Were your kids born in the U.S.? I said, yeah. So we got across the border. Now, interesting. He was born in a bonsai world with Harry Tomlinson.
Right.
Harry never taught him how to wire. Never. I had to teach him how to wire. Now, do you think I taught him with aluminum sissy wire or copper?
Sissy wire.
No. Everybody uses sissy wire in Europe. But if I were to teach him it's sissy wire, and he's a professional bonsai artist now, someone gives him copper, it's going to be a little difficult learning curve. So I taught him with copper. While he was here, I got a catalog. There was an American in Japan selling bonsai. And the catalog says, if you want your tree wired, it's $10 a foot. So we're trying to figure out a foot in height or a foot of length. Okay, so I had a big Cascade pine tree, about 4 feet. I said, okay, Corin, measure the wire for that tree. The wire comes in 50-foot coils, so it's easy for him to measure. So he wired it. Meantime, Yoshimura was checking up on Corin. So Yuji says, what do you have Corin doing today? I said, he's wiring the tree. I want to see how much wire it takes. Hey, Yuji, how much wire do you think it'll take to wire that pine tree? He knew the tree. What do you think Yuji said? In pounds or in feet? He knew both. He knew both. I said, no, feet. He said, 200 feet of wire. It took Corin 220 feet of wire.
Wow.
He knew.
Amazing.
So, I mean, Corin was a formal apprentice because he went to horticulture school in England. And part of the training, he had to do an apprenticeship in a nursery. So he wanted to come here. So he made application to a study in America in a family-owned bonsai nursery. I went to Ohio State University. I said, I'm looking for an apprentice, someone to study with me, bonsai. So they matched us together, and that's how he got him formally. So he got formal credit for this.
Wow.
He had to write a diary.
Uh-huh.
And
I remember that. You published it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. In the magazine.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Do you still avoid teaching sissy wire technique?
I use sissy wire all the time to tie down trees outside.
I don't want to be called a sissy, so I only teach people using galvanized steel wire.
Oh, gee. I suppose you leave it in there so it's nice and rusts.
It disappears. You don't need to take it off. It just rusts away over time.
No, they've only been wiring for about 70 years in Japan.
Yeah, it's a modern technique.
Yeah, it revolutionized bonsai in Japan because now you can take a tree and form a beautiful shape rather than finding one.
Right.
Because that limited the early collectors.
Yeah. Do you know who started it? Was there a particular person who brought that to bonsai? Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'd never heard. Yeah.
In China, they were using horsehair and wire, string, and coconut fiber to change trees. Then he started using weights and rocks.
Yeah, weights and tying down branches was the main one.
Yeah, but you can get it down, but you can't make any curves laterally.
Right.
So wire's pretty good.
Yeah.
At one time, Kimura said, I can wire 3 trees and buy new Mercedes-Benz by wiring 3 trees. But that was a long time ago. Bonsai bubbles down.
Yeah, right.
In fact, I have a picture. I'm going to show it. When you go to Kimura's most famous in Japan for wiring. And I got a sign in Japanese, and we had a guide there. And the guide said, oh, look, it says, please don't ask me to wire your trees for Kokufu 10. I'm too busy. So he had a sign at his nursery to say that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
One thing I've been curious about, since I know you have a good perspective on this, is do you personally have a big interest in styling, bonsai style, the way you kind of approach trees? Or maybe put another way, or how do you approach bonsai styling when you're creating a tree?
Okay, I've been trained and I've studied classical bonsai art. Classical bonsai art was first described in the guidelines in 1829 in a book. And it did figures in trees and had taboo branches, crossing branches, opposite branching, up and down branching. It says, if you follow these rules and if you avoid these taboo branches, you can't go wrong in designing a bonsai. But classical bonsai is a very quiet type of bonsai. And it's a refined, idealized nature, not naturalized, idealized. So when I have a forest, I don't have evergreen, deciduous, and rocks and everything, which is fine. That's no problem. That's more naturalistic. But I take one aspect of it, one part of the forest, and try to show the beauty and the refined beauty of just several trees or a group of trees. So I don't do naturalistic bonsai. I do classical bonsai. And there's an artistic bonsai too, like with old collected trees. And that's very popular.
And so you talk about that 1829 book. That would be the one that has, I think the flawed branches were on one page, and just a page or two later is that kind of two-dimensional classic pine bonsai drawing where you have the coarse defined techniques where the curves get smaller, the branches get smaller, the diameters get thinner.
And internodes get smaller.
Branches. Yeah.
Would you apply that label of classical bonsai to any of the work being done in Japan these days?
Yes. Mostly deciduous trees.
Yeah.
But a lot of what you see in Japan are evergreens, like shimpaku and pines. Mostly shimpaku, because they can be collected. You do realize that most of the shimpaku bonsai you see in Japan are all grafted. They change all the foliage.
Right.
Yeah. So you can put a branch right where you want it. That's why they're so good. Now it takes horticultural skill to graft the branch where you want it, but it also takes an artistic aspect to know where you want it. Just don't put it anywhere. I went to a big flower show in Philadelphia. It was a great big maple, and the owner was so proud that he grafted a branch on the tree right in the front. And if anybody looks at the tree, that's the first branch you'd cut off. But he was so proud of it because he accomplished it. And that's the important thing with bonsai, I think. You have to like what you're doing. If you don't like it, don't do it. No, really. There's no bonsai police. No one's going to stop on the door and say, Michael, you got an opposite branch here. If you like it, fine. God bless you. That's the important thing.
You're not part of the club anymore.
Yeah.
You got to go.
Either God bless you or bless your heart.
Yeah. But I know people can do bonsai 20 and 30 years, and they love it and do it in their backyard. Never seen any other trees. And they're doing the same mistake over and over again. But they enjoy it. And the trees have a certain charm. There's a word in Japanese, agedness in a container. You can't fake that.
No, you can't.
The old collected trees in America and in Japan too, especially juniper, they don't show the agedness in the container.
Which word is that?
Mochigomi.
Mochigomi. Yep.
Yeah. Agedness in a container. You can't fake age.
No.
You can try.
Right, you can try.
Years
ago. A lot of
ago,
tools out there for that.
Years ago, Kimura was just getting started. I went to go visit him with Chase Rosade. And he said, look at this wood. This is beautiful. He said, yes. He says, they put it in a magazine and said, man could never do this, only nature. He said, I did this with this tool. So Chase said, look at the tools. He said, how hard is it? He said, it'll cut, you know, teppanyaki, where they cook at your table, the metal grill. He said, it'll slice that. So Chase says, what if you get your hand away? Oh, it'll blow your hand off. And that's what he was using, air. I don't think he was using sand, just air to carve those beautiful rings in our trees. So he knew what he wanted, and he used collected trees, and he just refined them and created beautiful works of art.
So you made a really good point when you were talking about your approach to styling, and you said the classical approach formed the core of that, but then you said you're making idealized trees. And so how do you describe, if not just taking nature as your models, what are the models that lead to the whole idealized portion of bonsai?
Considering the elements of art, balance, rhythm, color, using those and applying them to the bonsai. Not necessarily natural. Like, you know what a pine tree shape is? Informal, upright, alternating branches. They call that pine tree shape. Well, I've got maples, all different species like that. They don't grow like that in nature, but as an art form, it's beautiful.
Yeah, and I
Something
know
like
that's lost on a lot of people, is that pine tree shape
Right,
has nothing
right.
to do with how pines grow in nature. And I
Right.
think it's one of the bigger misunderstandings about how and why we
That's
style
true.
things the way we do.
Some people call them broccoli.
Yeah, broccoli.
Especially on junipers, yeah.
Yeah.
Juniper
Or
foliage.
green helmet.
Yep.
You take any tree with the shape
Right.
and you put some green foliage on.
Right.
You got a bonsai.
Do you think the US has a bonsai style or styles?
Yeah.
No.
Good
No.
question. No?
What do you think's
I've been
getting in
asked
the
what's
way of that?
American. I've been asked what American. I don't know what American bonsai is. I know
Hmm.
bonsai is in America, made by Americans.
Mm.
Years ago, Kinbon did an article on National Exhibition, and it said there's no difference between the quality of bonsai here and in Japan. It's the same.
Hmm.
I mean, a lot of the trees, National Exhibition, could go in Kokufuten,
Mhm.
and Kokufuten trees can come here. It's the art. Some people are trying to be different, which is okay. They're trying to show their natural scenes, like in the Appalachians or the Rocky Mountains. And that's fine. That's naturalistic bonsai. That's good. People should enjoy this.
So, do you think? Let's just talk outside of the United States. So, other places, other countries, some Southeast Asia, so places like that, seem to have kind of distinctive styles. Is that? Do you think that's because of the species they're using, or is that because they found a different way with the tree?
Well, in Asia,
Mhm.
generally the trees grow much quicker.
Right.
In Indonesia, they never stop growing.
Mhm.
And second, I think
Yeah.
perhaps their culture. There's a lot of bonsai pension coming out of China now.
Mhm.
And the reason is they started this art form. Japan adopted it, changed the name, made it Japanese style. And Chinese style has been lost. But now in the past 10, 15 years, the Chinese government, they want the recognition that they started this.
That's a
So
big push. Yeah,
yeah.
I've seen that happen. There's a lot of propaganda out there.
And look, they got magazines, they got big
It's
exhibits.
really interesting to watch. Yeah.
Tens of thousands of people.
Mhm.
First day, you can't get in.
Mhm.
Second day, you can run a bowling ball. It's right through it. It's dead empty. Yeah,
Wow.
more than once I've seen it.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. I saw a presentation in Taiwan
Yeah.
from someone from China, and it was like a national campaign speech. It was really interesting.
I was there with you.
Yeah. Oh, you remember that speech?
Yeah.
It was really, really amazing.
And that was the
Um,
governor of Taiwan, I think.
I had never heard
President.
anything like it. Yeah, it was really, really interesting.
Now they have big opening ceremonies with lion
Mhm.
dances and taiko drums.
That was crazy. Yeah, that event was insane.
But that's their culture. That's their
Yeah.
culture.
Oh, sure. Yeah, yeah. It was very flamboyant. It was fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's interesting. Nice change.
Yes.
Very
Yes.
unusual species.
Yes, yeah. I've often felt that has a big role in just where they go aesthetically. Just the the shininess of the leaves and all that stuff. You just don't see that in Japan, for instance, which went in a very different direction with their aesthetics.
In Australia,
Mhm.
they're getting away from introduced species in a landscape, like Japanese maples and yews and stuff, and changing more to Australian native trees, which are more adapted to their climate, especially out west, where it's hot and dry. So I see in most countries, like what Japan did, they used a native material. I mean, if the Japanese were here, everybody would have a Scots pine and a Rocky Mountain juniper. And that's what the Japanese would want. But it's just the opposite.
Do you think there's some untapped species or areas, deciduous trees maybe? It seems like the conifers have been pretty closely investigated. But do you think there's some room to explore here in the United States?
Oh, sure. What do you call it? bald cypress. That's
Mhm.
deciduous. I've seen some nice, very nice beech, buttonwoods. Then you got all the tropical trees in Florida.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep.
But each large deciduous.
Mm-hmm.
So fantastic
Yeah.
larch,
Yeah.
especially
Yeah.
collected in Canada.
How about shrubs? Can you think of anything that you think has been kind of passed over?
I like hydrangeas. I got a couple of hydrangea bonsai.
Ah,
I like unusual tree. I got 3 different species of hydrangeas.
Hmm.
Those vines, wisteria.
Hmm.
You can collect Chinese wisteria, which has gone wild in the southeast. It's a pest. You can collect some nice wisterias, crepe myrtle. That's a small tree.
Yeah.
Azaleas, of course. Rhododendrons, mountain laurel.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But one tree which I haven't seen too much is, I've tried it, redbud. They're beautiful in spring.
Oh, they're wonderful.
yeah.
But I've discovered they don't like to live in containers.
Is that what it is?
That's what I've discovered. Maybe other people have, but I haven't.
Yeah, I've been curious why we haven't seen more, because they have the small leaves, the beautiful flowers, and just beautiful growth habits.
Yeah.
Now they have these leaping, dwarf, purple foliage. So there's many different species. Little twist is one of them. There's a cherry, Kojo no Mai, also called little twist. It's a tall shrub, and I've been using that for like that. I like that. That works. What else? American. There's a nice collected hawthorns down south.
Yep.
And around here. You have to look and see what you have. But I'd rather start it from scratch.
Mm-hmm. You're a patient man.
I've been around a long time.
It's good.
Ooh, that actually reminds me of a good question, at least the one that I deal with all the time is, depending on the approach, the techniques for developing a bonsai from scratch don't always overlap with the techniques of working on refined trees. And I'm curious, how have you navigated that while teaching bonsai all over?
That's a good one.
There's not too many trees which require refined shape yet. They're still being developed. And there are different techniques. You want quick growth, you want slow growth. I'll take, after you sift the soil, you get dust. I'll throw dust in certain trees to slow down the growth. Yeah, but I've seen a lot. I mean, I've been active in the bonsai community almost 60 years. So I've seen a lot of stuff come and go. A lot of people come and go. And trends change.
Yeah. What trends have you been seeing lately?
Right.
Mostly old collected junipers.
Yeah. What's a trend from long ago that you don't see anymore? Plants or style?
Smaller sizes.
Oh.
Yep.
Most people like 10, 12, 15 inches. That's the size of bonsai. But now people want to impress people, so they use big trees, which are more impressive with the heavy trunk. And a lot of those, unfortunately, just don't have the design. So the size has changed tremendously. And the species have changed. When I started bonsai, there's no such thing as indoor bonsai. Didn't exist. But now with the opening of Florida and the introduction of tropical and subtropical trees, there's a lot of big indoor bonsai. A lot of people just don't have an outdoor space. So they have to cultivate them indoors.
Yeah, it's really hard to bring along quality at scale. at
Right.
big scale. There's, I've done a fair amount of tramping around in the wild and some collecting of my own of conifers out west here in the Rockies. And one thing that I've noticed is that there's an awful lot of large trees in the pockets and the rocky breaks and all that would, be collectible. And many people collect them, but it's hard to find sort of the proportion that it's, all that. What's really rare is finding what you just said, this 12 to 15 inch tree that is really, really good. That is incredibly rare. You do not find those very much.
Both you guys grow and teach bonsai. I found it takes longer to do a smaller tree than a larger tree. You can knock out a big 2-3 foot three or 4 foot tree a couple years. Looks halfway decent. But the smaller trees, you have less to work with. So each leaf counts. Do you think which takes more time, a larger tree or smaller tree?
I think getting it into initial focus is faster on a big tree because you often do have more to work with, and you're going to be less picky about maybe the size of the branches you're moving around, as opposed to a small tree where it would really stand out if you're working with awkward sized branches.
I often wondered if it's sort of energy. You've just got so much more energy to work with if you have a bigger plant, bigger fluid systems. But you're right. You don't see an awful lot of refined, modest-sized trees. It's there are not many out there.
I've discovered and learned that it's easier for me to teach someone who's been an architect or artist's background rather than a horticulturist or a gardener. The gardener just wants to keep the tree alive. In fact,
or keep them too strong. I've noticed that. Yeah.
People transplant their trees every year because it fills the pot with roots. Well, you're doing something. You got to change the soil or you're growing things. Because it's not right. Unless it's crepe myrtle or weeping willow or something.
Right. A very active root system.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what about that? Go ahead.
I've got a lot of pot-bound trees. Want to keep the trees small, especially the accent plants. And I use saucers of water all the time. Most of my grasses are in water. Got hydrangeas in water, porcelain in water, wisteria, of course. But if it wilts, and I don't want to change the pot, I'll put it in a saucer of water in the summer. I found that helps quite a bit.
And this is just like a half inch of water, just coming up a little bit on the bottom?
Yeah, maybe a little bit deeper.
A little deeper? Okay.
I got a crab apple, and it's about 1.5 inches of water. And it still wilts.
Oh, wow.
Soda with fruit, sitting water still wilts. Or mulberries, dwarf mulberries.
Oh, yeah.
Certain trees like a lot of moisture.
Yeah.
And your eye grows. I can tell if a tree needs water like 20 feet away by the way the trees hold onto their leaves and the angle of the leaf or the color. And that takes time to develop. I'm sure you guys can tell.
Some are very obvious, some are tricky. Like wisteria will let you know from across the garden if they need just a tiny bit of water. The leaves curl up that little bit.
Right. And a weaker maple, Japanese maple, the leaf will be pointing directly down.
Right.
Might not be water, but weakness will do it.
When it becomes crispy, you better do something.
Yeah, right. Right.
Well, what do you want everyone out there listening to be working on? What do you want to see more of as you keep more shows coming out and as you keep traveling all over the world?
I'd like to see more refined bonsai of different species, not just a juniper and Japanese maple and black pine. I'd like to see more Western pines. Maybe bristlecone. Maybe bristlecone.
That's a neat
tree. A lot
of
people are growing those. People are very interested in growing bristlecone.
I've discovered that it's got two problems. The white resin pustules look like scale.
They do. They're very confusing.
And I tried bristlecone pine 20, 30 years ago. I found You can wire it. Looks good. Take the wire off. It doesn't hold the shape.
Nope.
Like cedar.
Very flexible.
Yeah.
Used to snow.
What,
Yeah.
cedar doesn't do that.
Oh, cedar's similar to that.
What cedar?
Oh, the true cedars, the cedrus family.
Okay, cedar.
Yeah, they do
Very
hold bends after a
flexible.
while, but the young shoots, you can wire them, and after 2 years, you take it off and it'll bounce back.
Yeah. I like the redwoods out west, coast redwoods.
Ooh,
They're developing very nice.
what shape do you want to see redwoods in?
Yes.
Should
I was
redwoods
just
look
gonna ask
like
that.
should redwoods look like redwoods? Should they look like bonsai? Should they look like the quote pine shape? What do you want to see in redwood bonsai? Because I think about this a lot.
What limits the shaping is your creativity and the growth habits.
Mhm.
If all the new shoots grow straight up, you better try to work with that. Or like Procumbens nana juniper, it's a creeping shrub. You're fighting it to make it upright, but you can do it. But the new shoots will always hang down a little and be horizontal. So you have to realize and understand the growth characteristics. I would treat juniper, redwoods like a juniper. Juniper has no shape. That's why you can do it any shape you want. There's no typical shape for juniper. So you can do it any shape. That's why it's so popular. Azaleas too.
Right.
You just get
But
to
I
pick our models. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the redwoods in all different shapes.
I do too. I think one of the most inspirational I've seen is the one up at the Pacific Museum.
Right.
That's
How would you guys
that's
feel like
stunning
a Cascade coast redwood? Would it look funny to you?
I wouldn't want to maintain it, but
Yeah.
I'd be interested to see it.
I think if it was really dense and really full, that would be probably the best example of just making it look like a bonsai, because it's definitely not what comes to mind if we're taking our cues of how they grow. It doesn't mean that they're not out there, but I think if they were developed with really dense foliage and really tiny internodes, and we just had this full cascading shape, I think it'd be a really striking tree.
Yeah, I guess just to jump off what you're saying there, it feels like it would be an alien situation for a redwood to be growing in a cascade. I mean, you just don't think of that. It would be. You'd think, oh, it's a yew, or it's, it's something, and then you get closer, it's a redwood. That would be the weird thing, I think.
You guys know what Alberta spruce is?
Yep.
Yeah.
How about a Cascade Alberta spruce?
It's another weird one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have a poor memory too.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
but everybody has it. Everybody starts with it. Good for forests. I understand.
Right.
You got to get out of your system.
But such an evocative shape, anything outside of that's going to make you think twice.
Right. It's going to look very strange.
Yeah. And what I tell people is I don't really care what they make it look like, but I want them to have kind of a story behind why it looks the way it does. You do know you did this different than everyone else, right? So they're like, oh, really?
Right.
It's like, oh, no, that's fine. Just tell us why you're doing it differently.
Right. Yeah, if you think of, another forestry, since we're talking about redwood and everything else feels a little weird, although you could do it, it might be a little strange. But how about Azo spruce? I mean, it's also a forest tree. And yet a semi-cascade doesn't look wrong for that. And I think the reason we might sense that it isn't wrong is because it's snow load. It's all based on where they grow. They get a lot of snow, whereas a redwood isn't inundated with snow. It's just a totally different environment, regardless of like terrain. So we're not talking about cliffs or anything here. We're just talking about what's coming out of the sky. So there's another feature.
Maybe because like those Cascade Azo spruce, it comes from a collected tree. And that's the basic form from nature, and man is just refining it and putting pads of foliage around it. Right. Now, if there were maybe on a coast redwood hanging off a cliff, an old collected tree, then I would go with that. Then I don't think it would look too strange.
That would be a rare tree to find, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in so many parts of the coast, redwoods are just inland. And so Up north, you see a lot more on the coast, but often they're just one range in, at least, in my part of California.
Right. They're not on the edge like the Monterey cypress or something like that.
And they're up north, but Monterey cypress is another great example.
Mhm.
I now want to see a cascade Monterey cypress.
Yeah, I've seen them in the wild because they're right on the edge of the cliff that's being eroded, and then they're starting to fall over. It's an amazing plant.
And what's
I
funny
want to
is
see them as bonsai too.
probably the greatest challenge with both of those species is they grow so fast.
Yeah. Mhm.
Monterey cypress?
Yeah, Monterey cypress, Mendocino cypress, coast redwood, those are fast growing and fast rooting trees.
Mhm.
How about Dawn redwood?
Dawn redwoods are also weeds. Yeah.
Yeah. I had
Right.
some Dawn
Kusa.
redwoods. I can't I have trouble growing it, so I gave it to my friend. They're 6 feet tall already in 2 years.
Yep.
Now, a cascade Dawn redwood, I'm going to do one.
Oh, I want to see that.
Yeah. Send us a photo. All right.
But it's funny, that's also bringing up larch, which has a very characteristic form in nature, but we all feel comfortable putting larch in any different shape.
Or you find them like that.
Yeah.
I mean, in the forest, they're straight up.
Yep.
Or in bogs. But if you go to Canada, along the lake and in the mountains, you'll find old contorted specimens, gorgeous specimens. Now all I can do is pick a line and fill in the foliage.
And that opens up the space for that idealized part of your styling.
Right. But you can do that and ruin the tree too. You can feel like, and old collected tree, the character. And this branch is crossing. I better take it, and then you ruin the tree.
Mm.
You can go too far. Well, my cat's in a tokonoma eating the grass. Zeus. Where's Zeus?
Zeus.
Yeah.
So that's who Zeus answers to.
That's great.
Yeah.
Great. Huh. Do you find, this is a little bit of a offbeat question, but do you find inspiration in bonsai from sources that are outside of bonsai? So I don't know what.
I know what you mean.
Writing or music or anything of that nature.
I get most of my inspiration from the bonsai exhibits in Japan.
Mm.
I see different things with different species. And that would look good. That would look good with this. So I get inspired from Japanese exhibitions. That's why I try to attend as many as I can. I see good things and I see things I don't like.
Yeah.
Do you find the stylistic palette from Japanese shows to be narrow or broad versus your own artistic approaches?
Mine is very similar, which is very narrow.
Uh-huh.
There's certain forms which I like. And that's what I try to do. I can appreciate other ones. It just doesn't interest me.
Mm-hmm.
I've got one collected Rocky Mountain juniper. And I don't like it. So it's still hanging on. It smells like cat pee.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Your cat appreciates it. Zeus likes it.
No, Zeus is on another. I have next to tokonoma. I got a. You know Hakone chlora?
No.
Japanese. Japanese forest grass.
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
I forgot the name of it in Japanese. You should know it, Michael.
I should. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I've got
the
some in
name
the garden.
You got some? Okay. All right. You got to send me a photo later. My name brain is gone.
It's a common grass displayed in Japan in the summer. Horizontal, usually variegated leaf.
Oh, yes.
Fuchuso? No.
I do know what you're talking about. Our Othmar works with a lot of these, and I love them.
Yeah, maybe
beautiful
Fuchuso.
stuff.
Yeah. But she was eating one of those, and that comes in green, white variegated, yellow variegated, golden. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That we know of.
That we know of.
There might be more.
Right.
Might be a Yatsubusa for him.
That's a common nursery species. I see them in just retail garden centers around here all over
Yeah.
the place.
It's called Japanese forest grass.
Yeah.
Hakone
Yeah.
chlora macra.
Yeah. Well, Bill, do you have any final words to send us off with?
No, I'd like to thank you for inviting
Okay.
me. Share some nice, good talk with somebody.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bummer we can't all be there in person, since this is the time of year when it's usually New York weather for us, and so
Yeah.
it's
yeah.
really, that's one of the reasons why we wanted to catch up when we did.
Yeah, and I think we want to probably launch this episode right around the time that you're going to have your show, as this is kind of a leap year for so many things. So,
Bonsai Empire,
that.
Oscar's compiled, he does the National Exhibition, puts a video together.
Mhm.
He's going to compile them and release them on the opening day of when the National Exhibition was supposed to be.
oh, so it's a virtual show.
Yeah. And it's
Excellent.
11th or 12th next week, he's going to release it.
Oh, okay.
Awesome.
All right. Oh, super. Maybe we'll launch this then too.
Yeah. Okay.
Great. So people can hear you talk. Awesome.
It was
Well, thank
fantastic.
you.
It was great to catch up with you today.
Thank you very much. Enjoy your day, and I
That's great.
appreciate you calling.
Thanks, Bill.
Thanks.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
The music on today's podcast was brought to you by the fine folks at Blue Dot Sessions. Check them out at www.sessions.blue.
I caught one of your, I think it was on Facebook or something, and it was really cool when you had an actual camera person and you got to just show everybody your garden.
Oh, was that the one with my zipper open?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Darn it.
I did the video, and my
You did the
fly
video,
was
right.
open. So now my friends say, better make sure your zipper's